All right. So today we're going to take a little look into our shoulder, particularly our rotator cuff musculature, and what we could do to help keep our joint and these muscles healthy and functioning optimally so that we can stave away any sort of pain or injury. So first, let's take a look at what are these muscles and what they do. So the rotator cuff consists of four muscles: the supraspinatus, the infraspinatus, the teres minor, and the subscapularis, commonly referred to as the sits muscles. You've probably heard that term before. And these muscles are responsible for some of the internal and external rotation that happen at the shoulder, some of our overhead movements, as well as lifting our arm out to the side. Now, they're only responsible for this motion, this abduction out to the side, for about the first 15 degrees of motion, after which the deltoid takes over. So you have these four little muscles counterbalanced against the one respectively larger and stronger deltoid. So keeping these muscles healthy and able to do their job so they don't become overpowered by the deltoid is particularly important. Now, when we talk about injury, the supraspinatus, the one on top, is the one most commonly injured because it undergoes the most force, particularly because of everything that we do, all the stress we put it under with overhead stuff. A little digression, if you do a lot of lifting or behind the head lat pull downs, that is particularly problematic for that muscle. I don't know why anybody even still does that exercise, but that's a totally different topic. So let's get back to our muscles. So we know what they are, we know what they do. How do we help them out? So before we get too much into our exercises, this also assumes that if you've had any sort of injury, whether a partial or full thickness tear, if you have impingement syndrome or any type of other malady at the joint, that you have been cleared for these types of exercises and are ready to progress through your fitness continuum. Okay, so the first one we have, we're going to work through the shoulder blade. This is a super cool, fun muscle, the serratus anterior, commonly known as the boxer's muscle, because it is very prominent in boxers from all the punching that they do. We're not going to be doing any punching today, but if you feel the need to throw some to the air, then hey, to each their own. So the first thing, now, the first progression would be to do this exercise at the wall. Due to camera angle limitations, I'm not able to show you that progression, so I'm going to show you a couple of different versions from the floor. Alternatively, you could also do this on a raised bench or either a couch, but we're going to start with progression number one. Now we're going to start with using our elbows bent. So if you were to do this at the wall, you would want your elbows to be bent, your hands against the wall, because this turns off the triceps. We don't want them to be involved in this. We don't want them to be responsible for some of the movement at the shoulders. So let's take those out of the equation. All right. So our first thing, get our serratus activated and working and doing its job, is we're got our knees down on the hips. I have my belly button in to protect my spine. My elbows are down underneath my shoulders, palms flat, fingertips spread nice and wide. And from here, it's not a big range of motion. Broaden the collarbones, drop the chest down, and then press back up. Coming down and pressing back up. And you would do this for a couple of minutes, 2.5 minutes. Rest, and then you would pop back up into it. If it doesn't bother your shoulders or doesn't cause you pain, you can straighten your arms. You don't want to get the triceps involved. We want to make sure we keep our elbows locked in place here. Hands under the shoulders. Same motion. Broaden the collarbones, drop the chest down, and push up. Press away. Imagine pressing the floor away. Keep your head lined up with your spine. Don't let it hang down here. You don't want to do that. Ouch, ouch. Nice and steady. Again, doing this for a couple of minutes. You might be surprised how much it might actually start to burn. It's one of my favorites to give to people. We do several variations of that exercise because it's absolutely spectacular. So the next one we're going right into our sits muscles, and I have my handy little mini band here. If you don't have a mini band for this, you can also go up against a wall, or if you have a towel or rope, you can tie into a circle. And I'm just going to bring this around, have it around my wrist, or you can have it around, excuse me, your hands, whichever's more comfortable. And typically we like to have something rolled up under us. We'll use this at the moment if we're doing this. And I would have something under my other arm. So imagine I have something under my other arm. So this puts us in a better position so that we can maintain our subacromial space. We don't squish it down when we do this. We have our band. And again, imagine I have something else supporting on this side. And I just begin to press out and hold it. Not getting very far. My alignment, I'm up tall. Take this down so you can see what my shoulders are doing. I'm not here. This isn't helping us. Rounding. No. We've just worked on setting that shoulder blade, providing for a nice stable range of movement at our shoulder. So here I'm just pressing out just a little bit of resistance. And just like our other exercise, we just hold this. You would just hold that there, again, for a couple of minutes. Relax, and pop back up into it. Just that little bit, that's all you need. We're not trying to get, or else we start splaying ourselves, and now we've put our shoulder in a bad position. So there's a couple of simple little things that you can do to help with your shoulder health. And I encourage you to give them a try, whether you've had an injury at your shoulder or you have no problems. You might find a new exercise to do that proves rather challenging and will help save off any possible future injury. So there you have it, and we'll see you on the next one.